What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. We're back here at the fire pit again. We are going to talk in this video about the update. We're going to basically update about the Middle East and what's going on with us and Iran, the MoU, current situations, things being said, and I'm telling you, y'all, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. Even if you are a hardcore like MAGA Trump supporter, there's some stuff in this that you have to even look at and go, what? Wait a minute. Hold on. So yeah, let's talk about that. So thank you very much for joining with me. If you would like to check out more from the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. All the links are in the description below for this channel and my other channels. Check them out as well. That would be fantastic. Do that all over there as well. All that's free for you. Helps out the channels tremendously. If you want to support any kind of way, there's Patreon. $2 a month to support any of the channels that you would like to. There's merch as well if you want to do that. If you're a Patreon member, you get discounts on the merch, so more reason to become a Patreon member. But yeah, any support you give is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And if you are returning, you are freaking amazing. Welcome back and keep coming back. So all right, I had a little bit of a fly or something came on my arm there for a second. The Middle East. Okay, so it appears that officially the MOU is done. To what degree we were ever going to commit to it, that's all done and over with. Trump has, the administration went to basically told Congress that officially that we are back at war with Iran. Because remember when before, with the War Powers Act and stuff, they were trying to argue that, oh, well, we're in a ceasefire right now, so those 60 days don't really count, and so we've got more time. This is not going against that. So now this is they're officially going, okay, we are back at war, so we can start the clock again. But this is under, like, I don't know if they're going to try to act like this is a completely different operation or what. That was a spider. At least I think it was. Or what? So I don't know how they're going to continue to justify continuing aggression and continuing attacks and stuff before Congress. We'll have to start to intervene, or we'll have the, as far as the Trump administration would be concerned, would have any kind of threat to them, I guess. I don't know. So Trump comes out also stating that the Strait of Hormuz is now under our control. That we are going to be the guardians of the Strait of Hormuz, the guardian angels of the Strait of Hormuz, that we're going to prevent Iranian ships from getting through, but everybody else will be free-flowing, no problems here, except for the fact, and hold yourself here, listen to me here, except for the fact that we're going to now charge, because of our kindness, because of the great American kindness of keeping the Strait of Hormuz open, we need to be rewarded for this. So we're going to now charge a 20, you heard that right, 20% toll. 20% toll on ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. Y'all, I thought Trump was the deal maker in chief. I thought he was the greatest deal maker of all times. And here he is saying that we are going to charge, okay? Note that we've argued that you can't charge and that you shouldn't charge, and that, Ron can't charge. Nobody should be charged. It should be free-flowing waters, right? And everybody else has said they don't agree with charging. Nobody is really agreed with any kind of quote-unquote charge, any kind of toll. But we are going to enact a 20% toll? Y'all, Iran was only giving a 1% toll. Why 20? Why did we have to go to 20? We could have done 2%, and it still would have been more than it still would have been a bad deal. But 20? Is Trump absolutely the worst deal maker in history, or is this purposeful? Is he purposely trying to normalize the idea around a toll so that when they finally cuck, and trust me, he's going to have to cuck, because he's going to have to cuck, okay? He's going to have to taco, because this otherwise is going to go horribly wrong for America, in the global market, if we do not stop this. Is this just a way to normalize tolling so that once we do finally taco and cuck to Iran, that everybody will be perfectly okay with a 1% because we were going to charge 20%? What's going on here? So yes, apparently Trump thinks we need to be compensated. So I guess we're going to charge tolls now. We're going to be the guardian angels of the Strait of Hormuz. Like, we are just, you know, we are the blissfulness for everybody to travel safely and calmly and openly through the Strait of Hormuz. But we're going to charge a toll for that. We're going to charge a toll for being your guardian, to protect you from Iran. We're going to charge a 20% toll to protect you from Iran charging you 1%. We're going to charge you 20% for protection. That's some gangster like ignorance there. I don't know what we're doing here. This is ridiculous. So on the flip side of that, though, Iran is stating that they have closed the Strait of Hormuz, and that they are not going to allow anything through that is U.S. related, probably Israel related, or whatever, unless they designate it through their waters. And this is all in coordinates, supposedly, with Oman. And we are also back to attacking them over this. This is a continuation of escalation, right back where we were before the MoU. And we've already seen oil prices go up. We didn't even really recover whatsoever in our reserves over this. We are vital. We are right on the cusp of a true global crisis when it comes to oil, because we have Ukraine constantly bombing. Doing some strategic strikes now on Russia, hitting some of their oil supply refineries and stuff like that. So that's going to decrease oil production in Russia. We have what's already been damaged in the Middle East, which is already going to slow down. Even if the strait was open, we've talked about this already. It's going to cause like backup in oil production out of the Middle East. Now the strait is quote unquote closed. We have a blockade back on it. We're also charging 20%. We're going to start charging a 20% toll to be guardians of the strait. We're just one catastrophe away, like some sort of hurricane or anything that disrupts some other issue within the United States before we're going to really start to see gas prices go through the roof. I mean, it is looking like before this ceasefire happened, we were within a month of total crisis. They basically just postponed that through this whole ceasefire. but we didn't reclaim anything from that. Our reserves did not increase enough to make any real dent or anything. On the flip side of that, though, Iran, apparently they are announcing that they took full advantage of that, being able to sell while we lifted sanctions. They were able to sell a lot of their oil and be able to import in and buy things that they needed during that period of time, that would help sustain them, because they knew that we were not going to hold into the MOU. They knew all along that we would not. And so they prepared strategically for us, for all of this to happen again. And they did what they needed to make sure that they could maintain a restart of aggressions, where we did not. The best preparation that we did was Trump convincing some 20-something gas stations to change their names and drop prices to $3.47 to be cute, in honor of him. While some of those gas prices have already went back up. This is in what is going to be a huge scam eventually to come out behind. Who's behind that? This whole war in Iran is going to be one thing that completely upends and crashes Trump's legacy. To what degree he could claim to have a legacy. This is going to be the one thing that completely ruins that legacy. And along with him decidedly ruining his legacy, he's going to ruin the global oil market for everybody. Because look, he's going to have to taco. There is no way out of this, because Iran is not going to. They're not going to buckle. They're not going to give in. Their regime is still in place. They have more support now in Iran than ever before from the population. We saw in the during the funerals for Khomeini that there millions upon millions of people. All in the streets of Tehran during that funeral. And yes, of course, there was signs and flags stating, to death to America, or to death to Donald Trump. But this is that's the idea, though. It's not America in general. It's never been America in general. It's always been the war machine. Okay, it's always been the elitism in America, the war machine, the imperial colonization, resource grabbing side of America. Okay, our government, our military. That's what they do not appreciate. That's what they do not care for. That's what they dislike. That's what they hate. That's what they want to end. Not America. The administration and other administrations, Israel, always tries to conflate that argument to being the entirety of the United States, like they want to completely obliterate everybody, all Americans. And that's not it. That's not it at all. It's the same argument Israel's always made about everybody that they claim wants to take them out. Make the same claim to Hamas, make the same claim about Hezbollah, make the same claim about Iran, that it's all of them, everybody, all the Palestine, all the Arabs. They just want to completely eradicate Israel, and they want to completely eradicate all of Israel, everybody in existence, for it to not exist. No, they just want your military and your government and your power structure to stop being aggressive. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want death to that. And now you have all the the Mark Levins and Shapiro's all right back on the train for Trump, because we've went right back to aggression with Iran. That's exactly what they wanted, and they are getting exactly what they wanted. They bitched and complained. Netanyahu must have bitched and complained enough to get their way again. Because, I mean, all the ones that are opposed, the ones that, like J.D. Vance has been completely like hidden for the past few weeks. Nobody's even hardly heard from him whatsoever. You have Rubio back in there acting like being basically the name face for all of this going on, and Trump himself out there making all the bullshit statements that he's making about, you know, obliterating them and we're gonna rain hell on them and all this kind of shit, and talking shit about them. You know, that you can't work with them, blah, 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 they're crazy, insane, you know, all of the projection of him and his own administration that they do on everybody else. This is not going to go down good. This is not going to work out very well at all for the American people. And the problem is that there's not enough backlash and pushback yet because Americans have not suffered enough. And I think Trump realizes that Americans have not suffered enough. There's not enough pushback. To the degree that he even cares, there isn't enough pushback for him to worry about it. He doesn't care about it. He's been stated multiple times he does not care about the affordability or the finance and the economics of the American people. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about gas prices going up. He doesn't care. Why? Because he doesn't even fucking pay for his own gas. He probably never has. The guy does not care about your grocery prices. He does not care about your healthcare prices. He does not care about your home prices or the cost for school or the cost for whatever. He does not care how much you're suffering, as long as he is being able to enrich himself and get what he wants and stay in power. Again, I stated a few days ago when talking about the election issue that this was going to be the one thing. This is very much looking to be a forever war, as long as Trump can push it to happen. He is more than likely going to use it as a venue or an avenue rather of trying to sustain or cancel or pause elections. I mean, there's hell. Apparently, this Thursday he's got a speech that he's going to give to the American people that is something to do with elections, around the 2020 elections being stolen or whatever, and what that's going to the fruition of that speech, what it's going to ultimately try to push and claim, or try to I mean, there's no telling. There's no telling what claims he's going to try to make. This administration is destroying every facet of America. And yet, even to this day, with all the things they are doing, there's still way too large amount of people that are continuing to defend and support and protect this administration and what they're doing. It is crazy to me. So yeah, we have an escalation right back to attacks, right back to closing the Strait of Hormuz. Now the entire war is about the Strait of Hormuz. It's no longer about nuclear sites. It's no longer about oil. It's no longer. Well, it's probably still about oil, but it's about controlling the Strait of Hormuz. About opening opening it back up and controlling it, and who's going to benefit from it, who's going to actually toll, and who's going to get the benefit of it, where this was not even an issue. This was not even an issue before the war. This was not even a thing. And this whole entire war, that's the one thing that has come out of this. It's the fight over the Strait of Hormuz, and who is going to benefit and make money off of that. And our great deal maker in chief is trying to put up against 20% up against 1% of Iran. How many people are actually going to just go like, you know what, I am much rather take Iran's deal. Theirs is so much better. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Iran is giving us a better deal than the United States. So yeah, we're going to go with them. It's crazy. 20%? Are you kidding me? You can't be serious. You can't be serious. It's got to be the most the stupidest administration ever. Period. There's no way there's ever been an administration that's more incompetent and more ignorant, more incapable of running a country than this administration. They're making every excuse. They are giving you every reason in the world to never support Republicans ever again. To never trust elite billionaires ever again. They are the ad. They are the marketing for progressive democratic socialism. This administration is the perfect marketing for democratic socialism, if I've ever seen one. We don't even have to create any markets or ads or commercials for it. All we got to do is we look at this administration. We'll do better. If you wanted an excuse to completely rid this country of capitalism, this administration is doing it. They are proving what the absolute worst outcomes for democracy, the worst outcomes for capitalism, the worst outcomes for the American dream and the American construct. They are proving and showing the absolute worst outcomes when the absolute worst people have power. That's what this administration is teaching us. And we should be hard pressed to learn from it and to remember it and to never let it be in power again. Let me know what you think. Until next time, peace, clear talk, I'm out.